That's Dar. Okay. Can you see or not?
Maybe one more bigger.
The Buddha and the gods.
Buddha, yeah. Can you make it one more bigger?
Good.
The Buddha and the gods, yeah. Those who think of Buddhism as aesthetic may be surprised to learn that the worship of various gods has been thoroughly integrated into the practice of Theravada Buddhism. The Theravada Buddhist scriptures portray the Buddha interacting with numerous devas who were part of the hierarchy of superhuman beings widely accepted within the North Indian cultural milieu of his day. What is distinctive about the Buddhist teaching about the devas, in contrast to Brahmanical religious views of that time, is his rejection of the divine creator and his assertion that even the highest devas are trapped in the cycle of rebirth. These Brahmanical deities, as well as a wide range of supernatural agents, such as demons and ghosts, were accepted into the broader Buddhist worldview in a manner consistent with the basic principles of karma. Those in higher reaches of the celestial pantheon are there by virtue of their previous good deeds, while those exhibiting greed and hostility occupy lower positions in keeping with ethical values embedded in the Buddhist understanding of the workings of karma. So in Theravada, in the Pali Canon, it acknowledges some of the different realms of the devas are celestial beings, and the Buddha taught loving kindness meditation to the monks to appease all the creatures of the forests and the spooks and the demons that and what was different about Buddhist teaching, of course, at the time you have the Atman, this kind of permanent overviewer, and then with that, then you've got some sort of permanent God, and the Buddha comes in and says, as long as the gods and the devas, he argues that they're still trapped in the cycle of rebirth, birth and death, having some attachments, so that although they are in these higher realms because of their good deeds in the past.
In Hindu tradition, they have three supreme God, right?
Well, I mean, I understand some of the different avatars of them, but yeah, there's like the supreme God, and then it keeps coming back in different avatars.
Yeah, called Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Yeah, what we call the Trinity. Brahma is the greater, Vishnu is the preserver, and Shiva is the destroyer. So that in Hindu tradition.
So those are the three main gods. But they have a bunch of gods, right?
But they are the sub god. So these are the three main gods.
They come back in different. They come back in different
forms.
Right.
So all the gods are a form of one of these three.
But that's like in India, you'll see like the different stripes across their face. That signifies which one of those deities that is there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like the Vaishnavas they go sideways, and the Shaivites go up.
Like they have what called nine
Avatars.
Vishnu avatar. Yeah. So this And nine Varaka, even they include the Buddha too.
A lot of times, I think they, even
Oh, Buddhist.
even in Sri Lanka, the Buddha is often depicted alongside, it is Vishnu, I think it's Vishnu.
Yeah,
Is,
that's one of the nine
yeah,
according to Hindu tradition.
yeah,
When Buddhism disappear in India, so they adopt the Buddhist teaching, they assimilate Buddhist teaching into Hinduism. So they consider Buddha as one of the transmission of Vishnu,
Vishnu avatar of Vishnu.
one of the nine.
Which one is Vishnu? Is that the one that preserves?
Vishnu,
Is that the
yeah,
preserver?
preserve one. Right here, this is the transmission. Yeah. So again, in Buddhist tradition, we don't believe in any kind of permanent everlasting gods. In Hinduism and even in the West, right? There's all kind of God, and somehow we talk about the sixth realm, right? System or system. In Buddhist tradition, we have what they call gods in plural, not one, not single one.
Right.
There's many different levels of God.
Okay.
That's what this session talk about.
Call that a hierarchy.
Right?
You know, this one, then this, and then I mean, that's my term. Well, yeah.
Have you heard of the 6 different realms? Do you know the 6 different realms?
You mean the gods? Or you mean on the other side?
No, six, right?
Like hell. there's the
Okay,
hell
yeah, okay,
realm.
levels.
Yeah,
That's my term, yeah. I studied
Right here.
spiritualism, Native American. A lot of them have 7 levels and maybe 7 steps to each level.
okay.
You know, in other words, there's no permanent hell as I was taught as a Catholic. Because everybody was gonna
Yeah, right.
burn, baby, burn.
I
So-
grew up Catholic too,
Yeah, right.
but these realms are more, they're interchangeable. It's not like a hierarchy. Well, it's kind of a hierarchy, but you'll go back and forth.
You can go up and down, you're not.
Right, in spiritualism, you know what I'm talking about, spiritualism? The Fox Sisters, the Knocking, spiritualist churches. They're not,
That's a,
they're common up north, Indianapolis, East Coast, Florida. Anyway, they teach about the same as this. I had my start with Japanese Buddhism on Bardstown Road.
oh,
Nam-myoho
SGI?
Renge Kyo. Yes.
SGI, yeah.
You've been there?
No, I passed by it though.
Okay. Let me just say one thing.
They just do the one Lotus chapter, is it chapter 24?
No, the whole book, the whole.
That's all, yeah,
The
that's.
whole sutra? I
The
thought it was
one
just one chapter. I thought it was only one chapter.
the
The
whole-
whole, oh, okay.
Is that Nick here? Nick here? I don't know.
But they have not branch to you. So anyway, so that's different here. Here is system of a system, heaven, human, first rate craving, hell, animal, realm of what they call the violent gods here. Can you see? Too small.
Realm of frustrated craving, that's a hungry ghost.
Yeah.
So you mean spirits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, in Buddhist view, we go up and down, not straight, not up forever, not go down forever until we get out to both sides.
Yeah, rebirth is reincarnation. That's what 85% of the world believes in. I hit the unfortunate 15% until I changed my way of thinking.
I would have thought it was the reverse. I would have thought 85% didn't believe in reincarnation.
Well, I read that number somewhere years ago, but you gotta realize this country, yes, it's hell. But you go to, like you say, all Eastern religions
Yeah.
from what do you call it? Muslim to Buddhist, all of them are reincarnation, and a whole lot of Christian religions are. Jews,
Judaism.
yes, and Unity, you ever go to Unity Church?
Yeah.
Unitarian, the spiritualists, and there's a whole lot of Christians that believe in that. So I can see where that 85% number comes in. I put it this way, it's easily over 50% of the world. Maybe not this country. I mean, that's my take on it.
And they could be gone to heaven or hell too. Like, do they count that as reincarnation when you
No.
just one time? But that's not, but you're still reincarnated. I mean, you're still going somewhere.
Different. That's different when we done with this time, that's all. But the incarnation will come back again.
So there's some Christians that believe in reincarnation.
Very few, but the Unity Church did, you know, downtown with the big dome.
Yeah, there's one on the east end. I've never been to the one downtown, but there's one.
Majority of Christians, they don't believe in incarnation, right? They should believe.
Up
No,
and down.
up or down.
Well, and then the Native Americans, I go to a lot of Native American ceremonies, sweat lodges, sun dances. I don't know if you've ever been to them.
Do they have it here in town?
There's
You
one
got
in LaGrange, there's some here, but I don't know about them. LaGrange, Sellersburg, Salem, Indiana,
Okay.
Ringgold, Indiana. That's where you build a fire, heat the stones. In red hot, and we have a lodge where we go in, do the 4 directions and prayers and whatever. I mean, I can explain that to you. I didn't want to interrupt. He's teaching a class here. I mean, going on, talking about my life. Shut up. Okay.
Okay, so again, this is, so. Okay, one more time, I think I can give you the idea of, mouse scenario. Yeah, in Buddhist view. What we call here. So you see that, can you see the small one?
Hermetic wheel.
Yeah, right here. So we in human realm here, we have, this is the form realm, the heavenly form realm. And this, actually the desire realm. This was the form realm, and this is up here the formless realm. So these are the heaven that the recipients live up there.
Rupa is form, right?
Yeah, Rupa is form.
So, okay, so the top.
Kama, that's in the desire.
So that's no form,
It's no form and desire.
and
And
then,
it's yeah. So the lesser desire we are, the higher we go up there. The more we desire, and the more we go down. That's the position. Okay. So again, so Buddhist adopt some Hindu gods into our tradition in the book of
yeah, Shiva and then the Avalokiteshvara are depicted often very, very similar. They almost indistinguishable sometimes.
Isn't
Shiva usually like
Not if it's in brass.
No, because Shiva is more fearful.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
They,
A little bit, but some of this, like I have one at home and it took me a while to decide which one it was, but it's Shiva. Yeah, they can look very similar.
Thus, the devas are regarded as fully real and possess superhuman powers. Though they are subservient to the Buddha during his lifetime, the Buddha stood at the apex of his hierarchy, and after his final passing away, he continues a symbolic hegemony over the devas and lower superhuman beings. In general, the devas are relatively distinct figures.
Yeah, so again, right? So in Buddhist view, right? No matter how long you live, right? 300 years, but you still one day they go disciple.
Hegemony means like a one single supreme ruler.
Yeah, so it depict here when the Buddha went up to the heaven to teach his mom, right? Talk about that. So the God follow him to go down to the human realm. That's one of the let's read this one here. Would you like to read this one?
Yeah, so
After-
okay.
Well,
When I get closer, after performing The Miracle of the Double at Boston. Thank you. Yeah, that should be my word. In his ministry 6 year, the Buddha used you got higher mountains and Mount Meru as climbing stones to ascend to the heaven of the 33. There he sat at Chakra's throne and preached the
Abhidhamma.
to his mother, attended the gods of the 10,000 worlds. The 19th century Burmese manuscript illustration captured the moment when the Buddha descended along the triple stairway of gold, silver, and jewels, accompanied by the many deities, and arrived at the city of Shamankara. This event is marked by Burma's Festival of Lights at the end of the rainy season.
You know,
Guess I got
double, you know, double, miracle, the miracle.
Uh-uh,
I don't know that one.
Okay, let me,
well, or I don't think so.
this is, already. Okay, this was about double, beautiful. Has been, he flew up to the air.
Yeah.
On the bottom, he emitted water, and the top, he emitted fire. You know the background of this story?
Mm-mm.
The background is that it's two group of people on two sides of the river, so they fight. They fought for the water. And at that time, the Buddha flew on the air, and so that people can pay attention to him. And after that, he told them fight for the water.
Is that, did he show them that, did he let them see the heavens? Is that when he, where they could see the heavens and the hells, or that?
No, not yet. That's
That's
different. That's different story. That's a similar. No, the story is that when he went back to his palace to teach his fathers and others. So at first his relative didn't believe in him. They did respect to him. So he flew up to the sky like this, and in the top bottom he emitted water, and top he emitted fire. So at that time they respected. Yeah. So that is what we call the double miracle, or the miracle of double. This is what about here. And this is the image. This is the image where the Buddha went down from the heaven. This is right here. This one here. Right here. This one.
Is the umbrella always,
See right here. This one here. And
in Buddhist symbology, is the umbrella always a symbol of the Dharma?
open. Right here. This one here. This one here.
That's
He
where.
stepped down. He stepped down from the heaven.
Why would he want to come back here?
Yeah.
He didn't.
He didn't, he took a wrong step, wrong door. I got myself.
Well, he figured out how to get out of
I
here.
knew that he had an escape plan.
Yeah, this is what he did.
He's gone and didn't come back.
Did you people?
Oh, this one is clear here. Can you see that? Yeah, Buddha returned from heaven. The all God followed him. That's what this one talk about here. Yeah. And so remember Indra is one of the Hindu god.
Is that not God, like the Christian God?
No, it's.
It's
in-
not?
In Buddhist tradition, yeah,
It
Buddhist view, yeah, prison, God is one of the God.
But it's not that one.
One of the
And
God.
Indra is the god that holds the fabric of the universe together, I believe.
So here's the meaning is that, like, nowadays, we have many countries, right? And each country has president, a chairman, whoever, lead the country. So do the heaven. One of the heaven has the heavenly king. And you follow?
Right.
Yeah, so that's the idea. So Christian God is one of the heavenly king,
Heavenly
one of the
Kings.
heaven. In Buddhist view, even the most tradition. So any tradition that believe in any kind of God. That's why they start with that. That's why they believe in the kind of God, because they have that type of connection since the past life. Or in Buddhist view, it's not constant. Let's say when you have some kind of connection with each other, now it's not constant.
Right.
We may have some connections in the past. We may have been relatives, like spouse, parents, children, and so forth.
We call that soulmates. Okay, I didn't want to throw all these words. That means you came back with
your
somebody
relative.
that you were in another lifetime with. Soulmates.
That is
Except
not-
it's like
Do I know
everybody, everybody you meet.
yeah, almost everyone to me. This is not constant.
That's why you
But-
like him or don't.
And if you look at somebody and said, haven't I seen you before?
Yeah.
1,000 years ago or so.
Yeah,
A lifetime,
Even, let's say,
different
we-
appearance.
we may
maybe
go-
different sex.
Yeah,
Even we may go-
Remind me of a guy I knew.
Even
Could have been a bugger. Yeah.
you may see, may meet someone that person's friend before us, but somehow we feel more comfortable with those people. And even now, when we see other people, they may be stranger because probably the first time we meet them, we have the strange feeling with them, so probably the first time. But whoever we encounter, we feel that, oh, we have some kind of close connection, right? Then you say that, oh, have I met you before?
Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
Yeah, that's the question that we have intuitively, right? We have a kind of connection. Because when we done with this body, we have another this body. So they, right? So we come back in different form of life, and other people come back in different form of life. And like that, right? In the past way, you can make them back, different form of lives. But we still have the kind of, you can say that spiritual connection there.
have you ever like met somebody that you recognized in the same life, like somebody that passed away or an animal or anything, any being, and then you see him again? Can you recognize like that?
Wow, I cannot say yes, but
You
but
think-
feel
you
that,
think-
we feel that,
You think?
we feel that, not, we cannot say for sure, because we don't have,
Sure.
unless we have the second eye, we know for sure, but. But for our feeling, we could recognize, oh, that person is so lovely, that person so dear, that, that they follow, so we follow, that's what we involved, or one that, when we see that person on the spot, oh no, I don't want to work with this person.
We fought in another.
Even we have not spoken yet. What is called first impression, right?
Yeah.
You have first impression with your girlfriend, how was that? Yeah, passed right away.
Instant connection.
Yeah, I was like a little bit nervous, but at the same time, it just felt very comfortable.
Yeah, there are definitely some people you meet and there's that sense of comfort and familiarity
Now,
that's
I mean,
unexplainable.
of course, granted, we met each other over a telephone screen 1,500 miles away from each other, so that kind of added to the comfortability of it.
Yeah, so, and even, let's say your children, right? They may be your parents, maybe your sibling, maybe your spouse, who knows? This is so, it's so complicated that go beyond our thinking. And that's why one love you so much, another one may not like much. Right, so it depends upon past karma plus of how we interact with other people too. So the past connected to the present, present and the future. Let's say if you you have strong connection with your girlfriend now, but if you don't care much about her, it would not last long, right? And vice versa. Even if you don't have much connection with her, but still you build up that kind of relationship in the past way, it may bond you together. So it depends on our attitude now. It may be changed, it may be changeable, depends on our attitude, how we deal with that person, how we interact with that person. In the positive way, in the negative way, and so it may be changed. Sometimes like for first impression that we may feel that, oh, I don't want to work with that person, but through our conversation, we get to know the person, right? And you may feel positive about that person too, right? And vice versa. At first, you may feel that, oh, I know that person, that figure so far, but when you talk with them, somehow you feel that's not going to believe that.
There was a really big, for me, I felt a really large shift or difference in my life after I practiced metta for a significant, about, I don't know, 6 months or a year. That's pretty much all I was practicing was metta. And the way I related to people completely changed. The way I perceived the way people related to me completely changed. So I think too, with certain amounts of compassion, grooming, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
that your ability to relate
Mm-hmm.
to people and feel compassionate and look like where before I would maybe look at someone a little bit more judgmentally, like if they were, whatever, homeless person harassing me, I may have had a judgmental thought. But now since I've been practiced quite some time, of course, now it's, may they be relieved of suffering, like it's not even like, even though it wouldn't be the same person, the feelings are completely different just because I've repeated so much loving kindness over amount of time that before those feelings of judgment and whatever, now they're feelings of maybe happy, maybe peaceful.
That's why in Buddhism is focused on mind training.
Yeah.
We train our mind, right? From negative one in the past to one.
Yeah.
So that when we deal with other people, like you say, at first we may have some kind of bias to other people, right? Based on race, based on their color of skin, based on their nationality, and so forth. But this kind of mind training is, like you say, that metta transform our outlook, right? So that we can interact with them in compassionate way, in an understandable way. It's quite different from before. When we saw them in a biased way. That if you speak my language, I would like to work with you. Otherwise, forget that. If you have the same habit as mine, I can work with you, and so forth and so forth. We look for similarity.
I used to do that at school all the time. Before we have a project, it's like anybody with that, like any person but that annoying, loud person about it. And I'd always end up in a group, and then I would be so thankful because they were the best group person, or because they're so loud and all yeah, always would switch.
That's right. That's why it's so important. It's so important to have my training through meditation to contemplation. On Sunday we have the what we call compassionate Buddhist celebration. Welcome to come. We talk about
10 o'clock?
10 o'clock, 10 a.m. We talk about the measure of compassion, the universal value in any tradition. But this Buddhists represent compassion.
Can I ask you a question about the afterworld?
Yeah.
Do you believe that people have to reincarnate, or they have a free will and can stay on the other side?
Yes and no. Yes, because they follow, even for us, I used to give analogy. Let's say, when we were born, we didn't have this kind of cell phone, right? We have what we call the
Rotary phone.
rotary phone, right? But now everyone of us has this. What happened if you drop your cell phone accidentally to the water or you break it? Would you stop to use it? Or would you go to buy another one?
Get another one.
Yeah, same way. When you're done with this body, would you stop to be human? No, you go to, you look for another form of lives, because you get used of yourself, who you are, you're attached to who you are. It makes sense now? So we have that capacity to pardon. It's not easy to break. Only when the one that really do meditation would be detached from the ego, attachment to the self, they can go freely, but not easy. That's what the whole Buddhist practice is about.
Yeah, if you really look and examine what it takes to become enlightened
Enlightened,
in
yeah, that's it.
Buddhism.
Term like Catholics call saints.
Mhm.
You
Well,
don't have to come back.
Yeah, that you're not coming back.
They still go somewhere though. They might not come back human, but they go elsewhere.
Yeah, if you understand how difficult and how many lifetimes you would have to. I mean, even you meet these really highly enlightened type people. I mean, it's such an intense process. If you really examine what I call it, what the ask is.
Right.
You know, we're so as lay people from the Buddhist perspective of enlightenment and not coming back. So yeah, the Buddha taught us this is how you can leave and not come back. Now, are you able to do that? Probably not in this lifetime. It takes many lifetimes of serious.
Yeah, and Brother Kassan, right? We attach so many things.
Right.
The food, the drink, the clothes we wear, even the way we talk, right? The way we behave ourselves, the way we interact with other people. We get use of that patterns. It's not easy to break through. That's why we get stuck in one way and others.
So yes, it is possible, but if you really study what that possibility looks like, you'll see that that's a lot of cultivation.
That's what, it's in Zen tradition. In Zen tradition, you know that. So the way of the Zen tradition is to train our mind to be flexible. It's like the water flowing, like the wind blowing. If we get stuck with one, our mind gets stuck there. So let's say, okay, when someone walk into this room and say, "Oh, look at this table here. This whole table, it's messy." Is that right?
Yeah.
But for us, it's okay. It's a table we can fix later on. It's different attitude, right? One is they stuck with the form. Oh, you had to be proper. You have to, here everything should be perfect. Other one, okay, we can change it. That's okay, no problem. As long as we can work together, we can learn together in the peaceful way. That's all. But if someone's still stuck with the form, they say, I have to do this, I have to do that, and so forth and so forth. That's why they get stuck with that kind of form, right? So if with the expectation too, with different type of people, for example, let's say if they meet a professor, for example, they automatically, right, they may think, oh, that person will be a knowledgeable person, but may not be the case. Right? Or if they talk with a little boy or girl, right? They say, oh no, they don't know, they don't understand much, they don't know much. But who know? You see? So because most time, if we focus on the form, we get stuck with the form. But if we think, that have the broadened mind, accepting mind, right? So much easier for us to deal with other people. It's easier for us to work with other people.
So how long do you think it takes to get attached to those kinds of things?
There's
It's
no-
like, I don't like the food, I don't like the drinks, I don't like the words, I don't like any of it. So I
here,
mean, how many times do you have to come back before you start getting attached to that stuff? I
here,
wouldn't have to do any of
yeah,
it.
here. So we cannot count the times, but we count how we can transform, how much effort we put in transform our mind. For example, let's say when we talk about the food, right? We do the prayer before we have the food, we have lunch. So the Buddha reminds us that the food is just like the medicine. The older you are, the easier for you to recognize, right? If you consume either just little sugar, it may affect your body. If you have diabetes problem and so forth. So as much as we recognize the food as medicine, when we sick, that's all. Whichever food we can consume is just medicine for our body. It's much easier for us to go.
It's a hassle. Because it's like, you need the food for your body to be healthy,
But you can, yeah, go ahead.
But there's just like, so in meditation, you strengthen, I call it like the let go muscle. Like when you first start meditating, it's super hard to let go of certain thought forms or repetitive. But as you become a better meditator, it's much easier to let the thoughts come, let them go, okay, whatever, And so I think, of course, if your intention is to cultivate, you're going to strengthen that non-attachment muscle. Like, but of course, it's going to take awareness, dedication, all those other things. But just like you do in meditation, that muscle of detachment, that you can also bring that into other areas of your life, whether it's with getting attached to food or anger, hatred, jealousy, greed, whatever. But the stronger you start building that muscle, the easier it is to let go, and then eventually to not form those attachments. But it's a process, layer by layer.
But at first we have the type of education, right? Yeah, like I can mention that the Buddha say, okay, please observe the foods as your medicine. When you're sick, you just take medicine, whether you like or not, get the medicine. So it's much easy. That's in the course approach, but in the deeper approach, like she mentioned, when we do meditation, we let go of any kind of thought attached to, oh, I don't like that food, I don't like that drink, and so forth. But that's just a thought. So when we focus on our mind, when we focus on our breath, those thoughts would not bother us much, because we focus on the breath, and eventually they have lesser grip on our mind. That's why when they pop up in our mind, we just focus on our breath, they don't bother much. That's in deeper breath.
I started meditating, the sensation of restlessness was like overwhelming. Like I did not know what to do with that feeling. And 10 minutes with my eyes closed was like, sorry, I gotta get up and do something. That feeling of, but then at longer, I said, okay, I'm gonna teach myself to do it. Okay, so there's that restless feeling again. I'm gonna let it go this time. Well, now I might still have that restless feeling come up, but like my mind doesn't give it any weight, because I know I'm gonna wait out until the bell rings. But before, my mind would be like, is the bell gonna ring, and when's it's gonna be over? Where now it's just like, okay, there's restlessness, it's back to the breath.
I like the sound, not the bell.
the space, like.
Oh.
I wonder what that was.
Yeah. So in many research, it said that as long as you focus your mind on one object, other things would not bother you much. For example, if you focus on this water bottle, of course, someone walk around, but your main focus is on this, it won't bother you much. If your mind scattered, yes, people walk around, people talk at you and run around, it bother you. So there is the mind. Let's say if you focus on your breath, those kind of thought, the thought that you dislike some kind of food and drink and so forth, they won't bother you much. Eventually, let go much easier. That's why we need to practice. Yeah, it takes time.
I mean, I think
Mm.
about like just with food, and the way I was raised, very internationally. We were never allowed to say we didn't like food. We had to eat whatever was put in front of us, politely swallow it and say thank you. There was no like.
Yeah.
And so of course, now to this day, I can go anywhere, not worry about what people will feed me, because I already have that habit of put it in my mouth and smile.
Mm. You take the habit.
That always blows me away. How some people like shy away from eating Chinese. So
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Try it.
Yeah.
It's like.
Well, I
it's
drank,
like,
I drank the blood and milk when I was in Africa, and that was a big ask, because it's, you literally see them drain it out of the cow's neck.
Oh,
And
I've
then
seen that, yeah.
And then they hand it to you, and it's still body temperature, which is shockingly
Really?
hot.
Wow,
Yeah,
really? They still do that nowadays?
yeah, I mean, when I did, I was 18, but yeah,
Wow.
they still do that because that's
Mm.
because you get the iron and a lot of the nutrients and stuff. In the milk, and it doesn't kill their cattle, which is, that's their wealth. So that's, and of course, so when they offer that to you, and especially at that time, there was a famine in that area. The idea of saying no to them being that generous is just hardly offensive. So you just.
But still, I mean, you may get sick from that,
Yeah,
those type of direct.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
It's different story. That's different
Yeah.
from our daily food, right?
I mean, it was fine. I drank it and I was just like. But honestly, it didn't taste bad. The rest of it was kind of scary because I had never had that experience before. But I was able to do it without making an awful face and smile and.
Does it really taste just like regular blood, just like iron?
It tasted like if you were to eat a piece of steak and wash it down with milk, really.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean,
So, can I ask you, when you get to the other side, you said there's 6 levels. Can you move up on the other side through prayer and, chanting, and good works?
Yeah.
Or do you,
Yeah, you
that's the
can.
way most Eastern religions,
Mhm.
you can move over there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or you come back here and move up.
Yeah,
quicker.
in Buddhist view, whether you go up or down, you will evolve one times another, in one way and others.
As they say, like, you
but
can,
you have to be in the human realm to enlighten. If your goal is to enlighten, you can't enlighten as a god or.
but you can.
Is
Well,
the-
because it's enjoyable. This is so blessed, so blessed up there. Yeah, so.
Be on earth suffering to one end of it. If you're
It's
in-
over.
But say, isn't it harder to like perform like
No.
good like meritorious actions?
Yeah.
while you're out there? It's already.
Because let's say you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
You would not know the suffering of the homeless people.
Right.
You
There's
will
nobody's
not, you don't have that kind of
home.
feeling. You don't care about them. You enjoy your life. So those the Sudo God up there, they just enjoy their life. They don't care much about suffering of other. And the reason why the first noble truth the Buddha said that the truth suffering is that only when we fall, only when we have that kind of recognition of suffering, it will help us to recognize life is impermanent, nothing lasts forever, so that we can walk through the path of enlightenment. Like when the student, the children, they fall, right? They strip of work. They know that they need to learn how to walk, how to run and so forth. So only when we have that type of encounter, or encounter, so that we can recognize, even I enjoy, let's say, billionaire people, right? Somehow suddenly, they may lost that they lost their stock, right? Or their wealth will be disappear, right? They recognize, before the day, yesterday I was wealthy, but now I'm homeless, for example. At that moment, right? If that person recognizes that he would let go of all kind of attachment of the wealth so that they can work on the spiritual part. Or let's put this way, in human realm, right? Let's say we live, can say up to 100 year, right? But one day we have to go. There's no exception, regardless who we are. So now we still alive, now we still have strength, but we know that one day we have to go. So that's why we need to recognize the value of our life, what we're going to do for our life for the next 10 years, 30 years, and so forth before we die. Yeah, to accumulate the wealth is one of our goals. That's not great, but we cannot bring our wealth after we die, right? Another one, let's talk about spirituality. After we die, where we're heading to. So that's why we work on our spiritual life, especially transform our mind and so forth. You understand that? That's why it's easy for us as human to recognize the impermanence principle of our physical body and others. But for God, they live billion or trillion of years. They have all kind of blessing, whichever thing they wish to have is up there. So they don't need to do anything. So after they done, I mean that even they live up there trillion of years, but they may revolve different from life. They may go up, they may extend their lifespan, or they may shorten lifespan, but they still enjoy their life. So they don't care much about enlightenment because that's all they do. That's all they enjoy. But in human realm, yeah, we see the reality of our life, especially this physical body.
Well, and the way it was explained to me was that you have to be in this realm of duality. And to be able to cultivate to where you can enlighten that. Yeah, in those other realms, there may not be this, there's not this duality, and so that there's not.
They don't recognize that yet.
Or
They don't recognize. There's still duality there, but
there's not that instability that there is in this realm where, so you go to enlighten, you stabilize, right? Where you disenchant from.
Yeah, especially let's say for someone who was born in a wealthy family, right? They usually take things for granted. They don't know much about other suffering out there.
No.
Right? Only when we grow up from poor families, we could understand how much suffering other people are going through. That's why we want to share whenever we have. But for billionaires, the one that was born in the wealthy family, they won't care much. They just enjoy their life. Is that message right? Only that's why I'm talking about only when we have that experience, we can help others. That's why Bodhisattva, they like to come here because they know there's all kind of sentient beings need their help. Because they've been one of them. Yeah, but for the God, they may not care much. They can enjoy their life. That's all. Okay. You want to read this one? Garden deity.
According to the ancient Sri Lankan chronicles, the Buddha explicitly commissioned Shikara, king of the gods, to protect the island of Sri Lanka, and he in turn delegated this authority to the god Bala, one of the 4 guardian deities of Sri Lanka, each of whom rules over his or her quarter of the island. The number is fixed at 4 through the specific names included in the group of variable time and place. These figures are all relatively remote by virtue of their celestial altitude, and moral virtue. They are not much concerned with the passionate and misguided affairs of the world, and thus Sri Lankan Buddhists seldom resort to them for direct assistance in their daily affairs. The major exception is the god Skanda, or Antan, who is generally counted among the 4 guardian deities, but whose behavior and cult are much less consistent with Buddhist ethical norms.
Do you understand? You understand this? No? Can you say?
Oh, well, like I was saying, I said earlier that in Sri Lanka, the Buddha's often, there's often a statue of Vishnu. So they do, so in Theravada Buddhism, they do recognize these other gods, but since of course, the whole Theravada path is to disenchant yourself from everything, that even though the gods are the representations of Vishnu and stuff, people don't look to cultivate or ask for them for help because of the path there, of course, is the Theravada path is to disenchant from everything.
Mm.
So, yeah, they don't go to them for help because
So here, Buddhist garden, deities in Theravada tradition. You see that they say in Thailand. It's different. You see here. You see this here? It look fearful, right? This is one here. In Thailand, in Burma, it's a similar style. It's fearful, like bodyguard or this bodyguard or the security guy,
Yeah.
the still guard, yeah. But that's a little bit different from.
I was really interesting, they're from Bali, but the symbols of it, they're great big huge teak statues of Vishnu carrying, or the Garuda carrying Vishnu up to the.
We have one in the front.
Who is the one on the front, like the one by the door?
Yeah, by your door.
Who is, I was saying,
What we
what is-
call Vida. That is one of them.
Is it?
It's like them. We call Dharma protector or the spiritual.
Right by the store.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually they have 4 of them in the 4 corners. Yeah.
It doesn't look like a Buddha.
Huh?
It doesn't look like a Buddha.
No, he's not Buddha. Just spiritual God. Spiritual God. Yeah. Like this one here. Yeah, spiritual guys. Some of them they are fearful. Some of them they're compassionate. That's why, even some of them. Yeah. So I told them, I don't know. I want to put in the front. Yeah, they would not accept that. They would not. Yeah, they look fearful. Yeah. Let me show you. Buddhist fearful deities.
You do have some pictures though, don't you? You have a couple of pictures hanging.
Yeah.
I have some of those. I'm like, don't look at that, kids.
No, too much. Yeah, but this is one of the way. You see that? It's so fearful, right? It's here. Yeah. So the meaning is that it chases away the evil spirit, evil demons.
So what's that mean when it scares the kids?
Which one?
Like that, the kid
Yeah.
looks at that and they're scared. Is it scaring away evil demons from them, or is it just because?
This doesn't mean the kids.
Yeah, like I mean, is it scaring something off the kid?
Yeah,
Or
scare away from the evil evil beings. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
so
whole thing.
I still have a lot of this collection, but a lot of this Asian art my parents brought back from Indonesia, and when I was a little kid,
You see the difference?
kids were afraid to come to our house because, like I said, we had like the Vishnu statues and all these other statues of the Barong and the monkey gods, and kids would come over, we would invite our friends over, and they'd be like,
In Indonesia, that's mostly Muslim. Isn't it?
it's the largest Muslim
Country in the world.
but it also, there is still a pretty sizable Buddhist and Christian population.
So they-
And, really, it's everything, everything's all
So
kind of.
they do allow other religions. That's good.
Yeah,
And some of those don't.
yeah.
Afghanistan,
Indonesia has
Iran.
all the religions, even though it's the most populous dense Muslim country, it's technically it's a technically secular government.
So you see it here's tiger, right? You have tiger, the god. There's the compassionate one, and this one here, the fearful one. So depend upon how we understand. That's because life is duality, good and bad, right? Beautiful and ugly and so forth. So it's sometimes, let's say, you may need someone to scare away from bad people, right? Sometimes you may need to have some compassionate people that protect you. So that's in two sides of the coins. You follow? It's just it's normal in Buddhist tradition. In the West, they don't have that type of spiritual garden, right? Do they have that? Do they? No.
No.
They have the scent, right? The
So
holy
they
the scent.
Demons, they're demons, but
You mean
they're not like.
Which religion? Christian?
And in general, in the Western tradition, huh?
Catholicism, got the saints that are like travelers and
Mm,
mothers, like certain.
yeah.
Different.
There's depictions of the different demons or.
Well, you
stuff like
have,
that, but you don't
have angels
refer
that are different hierarchy than
Oh,
saints.
okay.
Saints were
Hmm.
humans that not coming back. Were angels never incarnated.
Do they do? They do reincarnated?
No, angels, as you know, guardian angels or whatever, they never incarnated.
Oh,
They were never ever on this earth.
Left heaven.
oh, okay.
They
They
didn't
got-
talk much about the hells either. There's just like the devil. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not like.
Who's that? Catholic?
Mhm.
They told us about it. You gonna burn, baby, burn. You
Don't
do this, do that, you're gonna burn. Meet on Friday.
I've read
burn.
all- yeah,
You know,
three
of
of
course, some Catholic churches and parishes are a little rougher on the teaching than others.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like there's a lot of kind of.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a lot of.
Yeah.
You go to Mexico, they practice the Day of the Dead, which was what, 2 days ago? Here, what the hell is that? Day of the Dead, is that when you die?
Readings always come very easily. to me, So,
Somebody's there.
yeah, that was one. of the-
Mother.
I read it in high school and then, of course, so finding anyone to talk to about it was very
Hello.
difficult.
Here in some not all, when we talk about the hell, we see that they depict. Oh, sorry, we need to share the screen. They depict the screen of the hell. It's terrible. You may have nightmare. They rate that type of right here. Yeah, yeah. You see, so in some temple, not all, but in some temple, they depict this type of hell, so that it will serve as the warning for the lay people, for people that if you do bad karma, you go there. This is warning.
See, but you can always move up, right?
No, it depends. We can.
It's necessary. They think that's necessary.
It's
I mean, do some people need to see that to scare them?
sometimes, but of course, otherwise, other people would not like to look
Go
at.
there. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a good reminder, like.
Like if you take your children or student to go to the jail, you say, "Oh, don't do bad work, otherwise you end up here."
Or,
Yeah,
The next kid that talks is gonna sit in the hallway.
Yeah.
That's the Buddhist version.
yeah. Of course, in some right here, this is one. Can you see?
Well, yeah, I couldn't see from back there, it's turned.
He's impaled and they're on a stick.
I didn't see.
Yeah. So the purpose is just the warning. That's all. Of course, it's, you don't. It is so fearful. It's, you don't need to come. Yeah.
So they say 1 in 4 people go to hell.
No, depend.
I
No,
thought
not
they
1 in
used
4. Depend upon your karma.
Okay.
There's no exact number. You know exact number. How is your state of mind? That's all.
Is
Right.
the life staying long there too, just like in the heavens?
Depend.
Depends on how much evil karma you have.
Yeah. Let's say yeah. Let's just give the actual problem that people have in the jail, right? Some of them, if they do some kind of lesser karma, they may stay there only for a few days, few months, few years. But if they create the heavy karma, serious karma, right? They may be there for a lifetime.
Life without growth.
Mhm.
And then even if you're naughty there, they even have solitary confinement for you.
But they may be, it may be released early.
Yeah.
They may be released early, or they may stay there. So it's so flexible. We cannot base on the number.
Yeah,
They
so
got-
if you're in one of those levels, you could move up probably. to
Up and down. It's like life.
Constant.
Yeah, constant up and
prayer.
down.
I don't know what your term for it is, chanting, prayer,
Yeah.
good
It's-
deeds.
Yeah, for the Catholic people or Christian people, I recognize that when they do prayer for God and so forth, they could be lifted up and blessed by their own God. So do the Buddhists. That's why when they recite Buddha names, their spirit can be lifted up and be blessed, like Amitabha Buddha and so forth.
Yeah,
So
they
this
got-
is similar.
Catholics got two other places. Purgatory, remember that?
Yeah.
That's if you die, but you can't go straight to heaven because you're not that holy. So you hang there till the end of time and then you go up.
Okay.
Then they got limbo, that they done away with that. Used to be limbo.
Yeah, they don't know much about porn in that days, right? We talk about porn in that days.
They change the rules as they need to in a lot of Christian religions. What used to be bad is maybe now good. What used to be good is now bad. So they're
It's so
constantly
flexible.
changing the rules to appease people.
Okay, that's what I'm
It's
saying.